Well, some disturbing news this morning about one of the nation's largest managed health care companies where employee bonuses tied to dropped policies. A stunning story today that you found.
It is a shocking story out of California. We found this on the LA Times website. Basically what's going on here is that the newspaper is reporting that California-based Health Net Inc. avoided paying more than $35 million in medical expenses by rescinding about 1,600 policies over the course of 6 years. And get this, those policies were linked to employee bonuses. Now, all of this being brought to light because of a case that went to arbitration. Patsy Bates sued the company after her coverage was rescinded during chemotherapy treatment for breast cancer. During arbitration, Health Net fought hard to keep all those documents secret, arguing that they contain proprietary information. They could embarrass the company, but a judge ruled that the documents be made public. And here's what those documents are showing. The LA Times says from 2000 to 2006, Health Net paid its senior analyst in charge of cancellations more than $20,000 in bonuses. For example, in 2005, the company's goal for the senior analyst in charge of rescission was to save Health Net at least $6.5 million. And through nearly 300 rescissions, she saved them an estimated $7 million, which prompted her supervisor to write this in her review. Barbara's successful execution of her job responsibilities have been vital to the profitability of individual and family policies. That's something that was found in her review. And now most insurers do maintain that cancellations are necessary to root out fraud, keep premiums affordable, and you'll often find that individual coverage is issued only to the healthiest applicants who have to disclose those pre-existing conditions. So, all of this coming to light now through arbitration. Again, I said those documents being unsealed by the judge. And I do have to say that we did try unsuccessfully to contact Health Net Inc., and we have yet to receive a response from them. But, of course, you can get all the information into this story at latimes.com.
Yeah, it's just fascinating when you read some of the details. They say she still has a catheter embedded in her chest where she was receiving chemotherapy drugs. She can't get anyone, to do the surgery to remove it because she doesn't have insurance. It's mind-boggling.
Unbelievable. And I know there are a lot of stories out there, and maybe you can share your thoughts with us. am@cnn.com would be a place that you could send us an email.
Sounds good. Veronica, thanks.
There is outrage tonight about a story we noticed in the LA Times. A major health insurance company is accused of encouraging its employees to drop policyholders and actually paying bonuses based on how much money the company saved. A lawsuit filed by a 51-year-old woman claims Health Net boosted its profits by canceling the policies of some very sick people. Here's ABC's Brian Rooney.
Patsy Bates is a self-employed hairdresser who was in the middle of cancer treatment when one of California's biggest healthcare companies canceled her coverage.
I have 2 chemotherapy sessions. Then we find out the surgeon hasn't been paid. The anesthesiologist hasn't been paid. And the cancer doctor has not been paid.
With $200,000 in medical bills, she sued. And that lawsuit has revealed that Health Net actually set goals for canceling policies and paid more than $20,000 in bonuses to its senior cancellation specialist. Court documents show that over 6 years, Health Net canceled 1,600 policies, avoiding at least $35.5 million in medical expenses. In 2002, the goal was set at 180 policies. Their cancellation specialist beat that number and dropped 275. On her job evaluation, her supervisor said Barbara's successful execution of her job responsibilities have been vital to the profitability of the individual family policy product line.
I was very angry and very devastated that they would put money above people's lives.
Health Net says the information on Bates's application was either inaccurate or incomplete, and it's their policy to eliminate customers who don't tell the truth.
Paying people to find the sick people and get them off the rolls goes beyond any policy or ethical standard one could find. It's really not defensible.
I don't want to die. I want to fight. These people are wrong.
Patsy Bates doesn't feel well and worries her cancer might be back, but she keeps working. Because her insurance was canceled, she has to. Brian Rooney, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Continuing on the health front, tonight an insurance company is accused of paying a supervisor in California thousands of dollars in bonuses based on how many policyholders she dropped. Bill Whitaker has that story.
But to come here every day half sick
Hairdresser Patsy Bates is working through the pain. The pain of living with breast cancer.
I'm trying to live here. You know, I don't want to die.
The pain of almost $200,000 in medical bills because her insurance company, HealthNet, pulled the plug on her policy right in the middle of her cancer treatment.
I had cancer. My life was on the line. And these guys did not care at all.
In fact, she was in the hospital getting prepped for surgery when she first learned HealthNet was dropping her. Bates is now suing the giant insurer for $6 million, causing the company pain. Documents HealthNet was forced to hand over reveal senior analyst Barbara Fowler single-handedly dropped hundreds of policyholders like Bates from the rolls every year. The shocker? The company awarded her bonuses based on how many policyholders she dropped. The company called the year she notified Patsy Bates, 2003, a banner year for Fowler, for saving the company $6 million in what they called unnecessary health care expenses.
It has never affected how I perform my job duties.
Bates' attorney calls that outrageous and illegal. HealthNet fought to keep these documents secret and refused to speak to us, but in a statement released today called the allegations misleading and inaccurate and said that any decision to rescind an insurance policy is based on factual information. That is for the judge to decide.
If they did this to me today, who are they going to do this tomorrow?
Patsy Bates says she's not giving up without a fight. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Gardena, California.
In depth tonight, health insurance. And when you say that, it often immediately means horror stories. We have some for you tonight. Examples of a system a lot of Americans say is completely backwards and needs fixing badly. Our report from NBC's Chris Jansing.
When Mark Robeson fell while playing soccer with his son, he took a hit even more serious than a broken collarbone. His family doesn't have insurance.
We had a current policy. We felt covered. And now we're out in left field with no assistance and no way to get coverage.
Mark was hurt while taping this story about how his family's individual health insurance policy was rescinded, canceled retroactively, after Blue Cross said the Robesons left out information on their application.
They said we didn't notify them of a pre-existing condition.
The Robesons not only deny that, they're suing one of hundreds of similar cases taken on by California lawyer William Chernoff.
They make you fill out these really detailed, confusing applications, which they know you're going to make a mistake on because everybody will.
Patsy Bates says a salesman incorrectly filled out her questionnaire while she was working. But when she got breast cancer, her provider, HealthNet Insurance, said she lied on her application about her weight and medical history. She says her oncologist wasn't paid, her surgeon wasn't paid, and then her chemotherapy was cut off.
If you're ever taking chemotherapy, you're very weak, you're very tired, you're very sick. You might live or you might die. And they walked away from me.
Newly released documents show HealthNet set goals and gave bonuses to employees who met annual targets for revoking policies. Patsy's review came during what the company termed a banner year for the woman in charge of rescissions. But HealthNet says insurers must rely on the accuracy of an individual's application to keep premiums affordable, and that the characterization of their compensation policies is inaccurate and misleading. Industry spokesperson Susan Pisano.
Rescission is actually a very rare situation. The estimates are that less than 0.5% of the time that occurs.
Even as insurance companies defend these policy cancellations, California regulators are cracking down. They've investigated at least 4 major companies and have fined Blue Cross alone $1 million this year for routinely rescinding policies.
They are ruining people's lives by this dirty little secret that is unlawful and is unfair.
Blue Cross declined to comment on the Robesons case, but with its lawsuit, the family hopes to someday level the playing field. Chris Jansing, NBC News, Los Angeles.